Assassin's Creed Emerald will be another multiplayer game in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and it sounds very interesting. There's likely going to be changes to this project due to the recent trend of extraction shooters, but let's go into it. So Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson reported that there is a Project Emerald in development over at Ubisoft, and that Emerald will launch shortly after Stardust, which is likely going to be the Assassin's Creed 1 remake, and within a couple of months of it. It will also be another multiplayer title with at least a 5-year plan if the game releases and meets internal expectation. This could be the player versus everybody game previously under the codename Raid, or the other multiplayer game under Echoes. It appears at the very least that one of those games have been cancelled. Now in 2026, Assassin's Creed codename Invictus will likely release. This will be a Fall Guys inspired party game, which is basically going to be Fall Guys with an Assassin's Creed skin. But however, Assassin's Creed Emerald is seemingly going to be a PvE game, whether that's going to be an MMO style game where it's this multiplayer story experience where we can go on raids and fight huge mythical beasts in dungeon runs together with a community or with your friends in a party, or it could be what Arc Raiders was originally going to be, a PvE experience, more specifically a PvE extraction experience. This means that players could go out as assassins on a huge open world map with different areas that have different resources which you can loot and craft more gear, and instead of having looting as the primary objective to go and extract back to camp, perhaps it will be NPC targets that are in certain areas, and it's kind of like a bounty hunting PvE game where you go to a specific section of the map, like let's just say a cathedral, execute the Templar and extract back after looting them and trying not to die on the way back. Now Arc Raiders developers were originally going to make Arc Raiders a PvE experience without the PvP element, however they realized that just wasn't as fun, so they decided to add the PvP element to make the game a lot more tense, and by the sale numbers and it actually beating Battlefield and Call of Duty and being the #1 multiplayer game of 2025, it was the right decision. So perhaps Assassin's Creed Emerald could also take the same route. As we know, Ubisoft loves to kind of copy different trends, so if they already have a PvE game in development, why not add the PvP element, which could actually tie back to the original Assassin's Creed multiplayer modes where it was kind of this cat and mouse hide and seek element, which could be absolutely incredible for this type of experience. Imagine a game where we are going out into this open world and we have our quests, we have our contracts, we have our targets, and we're all out to try and eliminate them, and we can either work together or betray one another or even kill one another and take each other's loot, just like Arc Raiders, but focus more on the bounty hunting system and the Templar contracts rather than looting. However, looting could be a huge factor in this game, as we would want to loot to then craft smoke bombs and throwing arrows and even a sword, getting different weapons at our HQ to use on field for our next run. This would be an absolutely incredible experience if Ubisoft pulls it off right. They're already copying Fall Guys with the Invictus project, and I really do think that they can evolve this PvE project into a PvPvE project just like Arc Raiders to have those original Assassin's Creed multiplayer elements that the multiplayer game modes were known for. I personally don't think Assassin's Creed Invictus, the Fall Guys game, will be that big of a success, but I can see Assassin's Creed Emerald having such huge potential, as even though it's a multiplayer title, it really is going back to the original roots of Assassin's Creed multiplayer, and with the recent success of Arc Raiders, marrying those elements together by having it as a different enough game from Arc Raiders by focusing on bounty hunting and eliminating targets rather than looting would be a very smart move by Ubisoft. I also want to mention that Ubisoft is using Unreal Engine 5 a lot more now, as the upcoming Ghost Recon game is said to be using Unreal Engine 5, and Ubisoft's Project U, which is another multiplayer game in development at Ubisoft, is also said to be using Unreal Engine 5. So perhaps if their current Anvil engines can't really support this multiplayer title, I'm sure using the same engine as Arc Raiders with Unreal Engine 5, it's proven that it can handle a game on this scale. Ubisoft also has a whole host of characters and maps and customizations that they can use from across the Assassin's Creed franchise. There's just a huge amount of potential for it, but right now it's only said to be a PvE game previously under the codename Raid. It's likely that we would have teamed up with other assassins from around the world to then raid Templar bases to kill the target and extract with XP, money, new items and gear to then level up for the next raid. This is likely still the plan right now, but I'm sure Ubisoft is looking at Arc Raiders' success, probably thinking about ways to replicate it when they have have Project Emerald right there. It's actually currently looking like it's in the same state Arc Raiders was before they leaned into the PvP element. But let me know what you guys think about this. Are you excited for Project Emerald? I know there's not a lot to be excited right now, just the fact that it's a PvE game, and of course because it's so far out it could be shelved and iced or even cancelled. Those are the details we have about Assassin's Creed Emerald right now. And guys, it is finally here. The Balboa Club Witch Hunt Collection Volume 1 is now available and will run from December through February, and this drop is specifically inspired by The Witcher, as I wanted to blend the styles of the wrestling world with the games we all know and love. But please go ahead and check out the Balboa Club store. It's on the channel store page, and the website is in the description and pinned comment section below.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement.